Hi, I'm EB, and today we're going to give you a little tour of the Project Pando seed processing room. So we've got a lot of different stuff here. This will just give you an idea of some of the things you might want to buy. Not all of it is necessary, but we found it pretty helpful. Paper plates, that's helpful for laying out seed. You can sort seed on that, process seed on them. Just gives you a nice clean surface to be able to see the seed easily. We store most of our seeds in these Ziploc bags, so it's helpful to have those. Here we've just got some different books and literature. I think most of that is listed in the book for if you would like to buy any of those. We weigh almost all of our seeds. We've got this scale that we use for smaller seeds and this scale for larger seeds. We actually want to buy one of those bigger, like grocery store produce weighing scales too for acorns and nuts. And that's just helpful to know how many seeds you have collected or stored and not have to count all the seeds. So for certain species, primarily your hickories and oaks, in our region there's lots of different species within those families, and it can be hard to identify between the different acorns or hickory nuts you're getting in. So we made these little seed ID aids. Basically, we took samples of a whole bunch of different acorns and we preserved them and put them in these little baggies with some information about them. So when we get in, northern red oak, we can pull out this bag and see if the acorn matches versus something like this one, which is Shumard oak. You can see a smaller acorn, the cap will be different, the size will be different, sometimes the color is a little different. Here's a pin oak, much smaller acorn. And we have some of these for hickories too, with the husk, which is an identifier, and the seed. So those are just helpful for your tricky ones that, unless you spend a lot of time with seeds, it's going to be a struggle. Here are some tools that can be helpful. We use colanders, sieves. Those are helpful just for rinsing off seeds. You can sort seeds in them, like if the seed has fruit on them. You can wash part of the fruits off, sort of grate the fruit on the bottom of the colander, and just good for general processing of many different seeds. Over here we've got buckets. Buckets are really helpful for storage and processing of your larger seeds, your acorns, your nuts, things like that. We've got some drying racks. Lots of seeds benefit from a little drying. So we've got this nice little rack, but then if you want something simpler, you can make a rack like this. This is just a frame and some hardware cloth on the bottom. That works really well. You can make them that size. We've also got some bigger ones here. You can use whatever size makes sense for your space. A sink is really helpful for washing seeds. And then the final thing is a fridge. We're lucky to have this big fridge, but many of your seeds will need to be stored in the fridge if you want to maintain the viability. So we play around with different types of containers and different sorting mechanisms, I guess I would say. But this is one we're using this year and we like it. These flexible baskets work well. And this is our section for dry seeds. So here we have American elm, nicely labeled. A different elm that we're not actually sure of the species, nicely labeled. And we've got all of our seeds organized cleanly in that. Those are our dry seeds. we have a different section for moist seeds. So if we pop open this container, you can see we've got seeds that like to be kept moist, like pawpaw here or ironwood here. And these we just add moist paper towels into the bag. That keeps them moist enough. But we keep these separate so we're able to come through and check for issues like mold or something like that. Moist seeds need a little more care than the drier ones. And then finally, since we work with volunteer seed collection, this is a container for new drop-off, so volunteers can just bring seeds and put them in here. You can see it's kind of crazy, but this is just, you know, when you're working with volunteers, you get seeds coming in all sorts of containers and in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and we keep them in here until we have the time to take them out, determine what needs to be done, process them, get them organized, labeled, and then put them in our other containers. And so yeah, there's lots of different options, but that's how we've set it up for this year. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or any suggestions. Thank you.